I think a lot of people who are watching the industry closely are curious about sort of what's in the pipeline on a regulatory front, and perhaps if whether or not you actually expect perpetual crypto futures to be approved in the US in the near future. Is that something you think could happen?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think those can come to market now, and we're seeing some applications, and I believe we'll have some of those products trading live very soon. It would be great to get that trading back onshore in the United States. I think it's unfortunate that it has been driven offshore for so long. And the fact that we can have that here in the US and under our regulatory framework is a really good thing for these markets and will be really beneficial to the industry broadly and to our economy here in the United States.
Hey, what's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Imagine this: the crypto world is buzzing with moves that could shake up your portfolio, but there's a catch. Hidden risks and opportunities are slipping through the cracks, and most investors are totally in the dark. Are you one of them? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. In the next few minutes, we're going to be diving into three massive stories: a U.S. House investigation into Trump's meme coin dinner, a major update on crypto perpetual futures hitting the United States, and a deep dive into InfoFi, the future of finance that's got everyone talking. These aren't just headlines, they're signals of where the market's headed, and missing out could definitely cost you. And stick around till the end because I'm going to be dropping an exclusive bonus for you, our free ebook packed with altcoin secrets that could supercharge your trades. Plus, we will be heading over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the financial markets today. We will also be taking a look at an XRP price prediction, and we'll be jumping into the XRP charts at the end of this video. We'll do a deep dive into the United States House calling for Trump's investigation, and we'll talk more about perpetual futures coming to the United States very soon. If you're not familiar with perpetual futures, we will dive into that. Plus, we will be heading over to TradingView and take a look at XRP in the charts. What happened? Why do we have this massive sell-off today that has to do with Trump as well? We'll go into that news. We'll also be looking at the long-term and short-term momentum. Short-term momentum for XRP has officially bottomed, should start to head up to the next level to the upside in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll keep you in the loop. Before we dive into all of that, let's go ahead and check out the overall health of the crypto market today over at CoinMarketCap. We are now at $3.38 trillion. We did have a slight pullback today, down 3.85%. This was on strong volume. We had $172 billion worth of volume traded today, mainly sales to the downside, obviously. Fear and greed index taking a step back. We are still in the green greed at 67. Yesterday was a 76. Last week was a 68. Altcoin season taking a step back today as well. 22 out of 100. Yesterday, 23. Bitcoin dominance, hardly any change. Still sitting at 63% Bitcoin dominance. Quick look at the Bitcoin ETF tracker on the last 30 days, though. Today was the largest inflow day in the last 30 days, $934 million into Bitcoin ETFs. Definitely a strong way to end the week. And if we zoom out and look at the yearly charts, over the last 5 weeks, we've had a great deal of inflows into those ETFs, but this is the second highest week since the week of April 20th, when it was $3 billion. This week, $2.5 billion inflow, which is absolutely amazing. So in the last 5 weeks, we've had the second and the fourth highest days of inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs ever. Now heading over to X to find out all the breaking news, because you may be wondering, well, if there's all of this great, amazing inflow into the ETFs, as you can see right here, Fidelity says Bitcoin's bull market, driven by record ETF inflows and institutional adoption, is set to redefine its role in modern investment portfolios. And we are definitely seeing that. You can see the inflows really ramping up to the upside. We talk about the ETF inflows a lot because it's a great leading indicator to what the rest of the market is going to be doing. As you saw the last 5 weeks, we've had this super pump to the upside in the inflows. And if we take a look at the charts for Bitcoin right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, right here, when this massive amount of inflows started happening, Bitcoin was at $85,000, now surpassing $112,000, currently sitting at $107,000. So we definitely need to pay attention to that. But why all of a sudden this crazy uncertainty in the market? Well, Trump did it again, and he's threatening Apple with 25% tariffs and EU, the European Union, with 50% tariffs, creating extreme uncertainty in these markets. So as you can see today, him posting on Truth Social, I have long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else. If that is not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, what's crazy is this came out extremely early this morning. So when the markets first opened, this was there to greet us, and boom, the market responded. And on top of that, he's talking about a 50% tariff on the European Union. The European Union, which was formed the primary purpose of taking advantage of the United States on trade, has been very difficult to deal with. Their powerful trade barriers, VAT taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, non-monetary trade barriers, monetary manipulations, unfair and unjustified lawsuits against American companies, and more have led to a trade deficit with the United States of more than $250 million per year, a number which is totally unacceptable. Our discussions with them are going nowhere, so they are not getting anywhere with the European Union, unfortunately. Therefore, I'm recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting June 1st. So this is literally just a week away from going live, and that is why people are freaking out. There is no tariff if the product is built or manufactured in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So Trump waking up this morning with a big axe to grind, decided to drop this out there, and the markets took a dump. But like we said in the beginning here just a couple minutes ago, positive news, though, we do see ETFs doing really well. Also positive news, SEC is now considering approving Bitcoin's index options trading on the NASDAQ. So as you know, you can currently trade, for example, the US 30, that's an index. You can trade the NASDAQ 100, that's an index. The S&P 500, that is an index. Well, now they're potentially going to be putting together a Bitcoin options index. And we'll get into this more here in just a couple of minutes, but some more crazy news for Trump. 35 U.S. House members have asked the DOJ to investigate Trump's meme coin dinner for potential violations of the federal bribery statute and the Constitution's emoluments clause. So as you know, it is nonstop with these crazy leftist Democrats going after Trump for every which thing ever. And this one, they think that he was potentially illegally dealing, because if somebody from another country purchased the Trump coin to earn themselves a dinner, there is potential for bribery or backroom deals or favorite on many situations worldwide, which there is actually a little bit of a possibility there if you're being honest about it, when you look deeper into it. So he has to be on the up and up on this. Hopefully all the accounting was done. Obviously, we know all the vetting was done. And because of the massive craziness in the markets today, a massive liquidation alert did happen. Over $550 million was wiped out of the crypto markets. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to be playing with leverage trading, please be very careful. Please set very tight stops. 400 million in longs was liquidated and 150 million in shorts was liquidated. And also, by the way, if you are someone who does like to do some leverage trading, head down below in the description. You could trade with us here as well. Trade crypto here globally. You get a 10% deposit bonus. So if you put in $500, 5,000, up to $50,000, you get 10% of that. All you got to do is click the link down in the description, sign up for Blowfin. You'll use our code BULLRUNNERS there and get your 10% deposit bonus. It'll bring you over to the website right here, and then you'll be able to click on futures, and you can trade futures. As we talked about at the very beginning, the CFTC is bringing futures to the United States, but currently you can trade futures. You just have to trade them with an overseas broker, and right now Blowfin has been the one that has worked the best for us. And if you do sign up with Blowfin, it does help our channel making great videos for you like this one. So sign up with the link below. And when you do, and you start to do your trades, make sure you do very smart with your leverage trades. Do not do over leverage. And of course, set a tight stop, like I said. And by the way, not financial advice. Do your own research. And also, Justin Sun shared a video from the Trump crypto dinner. Let's take a look at this. So there's wallet number one. Looks like username Sun. That would be Justin Sun. There's the wallet address. He is the top VIP at the Trump dinner. So I'm sure that was quite the experience that all of them got to enjoy, the top 220 holders of the Trump coin. And an update on Texas becoming a Bitcoin reserve state. The Texas Governor Abbott posted an article about the strategic Bitcoin reserve move on his X account. This potentially signals Abbott is preparing to sign it. So it hasn't been officially signed as of the time of making this video, but we know Greg Abbott is on board. It's already passed the House and Senate in Texas. They will be a state with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And just in 4 major banks, including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, are exploring to issue a joint crypto stablecoin. So I'm going to head over to Altcoin Pro University, which is our training course for crypto. You can get involved with that as well down below. But breaking JP Morgan and other major banks exploring joint stablecoin. And he posted a great picture, because this is essentially what they're trying to do, is a CBDC without doing a CBDC. They want to call it something else, of course, right? When they could easily use a stablecoin that's in existence, Tether, USDC, RL, USD, whatever the case may be, but they want to come together and make their own. And we all know the truth that it's going to be a Trojan horse of the CBDC. So obviously we have a picture here, desperate retail saying, oh yes, I just want everything to be crypto. We want the whole world to be crypto. And then they bring in the new stable coin and it is a CBDC. We don't want that at all. And of course, the goal is to improve cross-border payments and increase blockchain adoption. And this source is from Reuters. Why it matters, and this is from our analyst, Curious Jay. If you would like to get constant updates on the market, information on airdrops coming out, special DeFi opportunities, and more, make sure you sign up with the link down below for Altcoin Pro University. So why does this matter? Well, this could bring serious institutional weight to the stablecoin space, but it also raises real concerns. These banks issued stablecoins may not be backed one-to-one with USD. Instead, they might rely on rehypothecation and other balance sheet risk, and that's a completely different model from the USDC or DAI, USDS. And the reason that that is important is because we already know the bank system is the fractional reserve system. So there is no one-to-one when it comes to banking right now, right? So your dollar that you have has been lent out 10 times over, 100 times over, and there is no actual real accounting for the dollar that you own. And we don't want that to happen in crypto. We don't want crypto IOUs. It has to be a legit one-to-one backed system. And he goes on to say his take is that this feels like a CBDC disguised as a stablecoin. And we are watching the next wave of stablecoins emerge, not from DeFi, but from legacy banks. And they are coming with profit motives, not transparency. Not all stables are created equal, and a new wave needs serious scrutiny. And he asks, what do you think? Is this innovation or backdoor control? Drop your thoughts below. And as you can see, our community is extremely active. If you want to get involved with an amazing crypto community, make sure you join today. We'd be glad to have you. You're going to get some amazing insights. And in fact, in one of our market updates section here, I wanted to show you something that DeFi Mo, another one of our analysts, came out. For those of you guys that are really big into DeFi, so he's talking about the capital flows that are happening right now. Bitcoin outflows is minus 20,000 and Ethereum outflows is minus 330,000. So what that means is that 20,000 Bitcoin has left exchanges and 330,000 Ethereum have left exchanges. Ethereum reserves have now hit an all-time low at only 18.76 million. On-chain metrics that are happening right now. Well, total value locked $128 billion. That has gone up. That means that these different projects, people are staking their money inside of these projects, and it has gone up 5.6 billion. Stablecoin inflows, it has gone up 2.9 billion. USDT dominance, it is still standing strong at 62.26. On-chain activity is definitely heating up again. So what's the chain rotation that's happening? Well, the top inflows right now is the hyper liquid, up 230 million, and Arbitrum running in second, which is up 41.5 million. Now, he has also included pictures for us down here to really grasp what is happening as well to go along with the post. We do have to take a look at the SUI losses. We're going to update you on this information. $441.9 million has been lost, minus 21% due to the hack from Cetus protocol. Hyperliquid is 16.5 million revenue, third behind Tether and Circle. So they're bringing in tons and tons of actual money making through their systems over at Hyperliquid, Pendle currently dominates with stablecoin projects on total value locked. As far as the bridges, which ones are having the best flows? Right now we have Arbitrum is leading at 492 million bridged. Barachain is not doing so hot anymore. It was the biggest, hottest thing for quite some time. Now it is down 129 million. When it comes to stablecoin movement, top inflows, again, here it is, Hyperliquid continuing to ride the top. Stellar tanks though. Stellar's network is down 189 million in stablecoin movement. As far as decentralized exchange volume in the last 7 days, on the Binance chain, $34 billion, the Solana chain, $23 billion, and on Ethereum's chain, $15 billion. DeFi projects to watch: Aave, Pendle, Camino, Sky, Curve, Jupiter, Syrup, and Gamma Swap. And the breaking news for the DeFi markets, Liquidity V2 launches Bold, which will be mintable with ETH, staked ETH, and RETH. And Zeus Network integrates Chainlink, Proof of Reserves, and CCIP for Bitcoin on Solana. So there's your DeFi market update from DeFi Mo, one of our top analysts. Now let's take a look at what the House members are trying to do to Trump. More than 30 members of the U.S. Congress signed a letter alleging that Donald Trump could have violated the Constitution by inviting his meme coin investors to a private dinner. Under the Emoluments Clause, the U.S. president is barred from accepting any gift from a foreign state without approval from Congress. Bloomberg reported that a majority of the attendees in the meme coin dinner were likely foreign nationals based on their connections to crypto exchanges. U.S. law prohibits foreign persons from contributing to U.S. political campaigns, said the letter. However, the Trump meme coin, including the promotion of a dinner promising exclusive access to the president, opens the door for foreign governments to buy influence with the president, all without disclosing their identities. And if you're into it, you can go and check the actual filing on this report. And though some of the dinner attendees covered their faces with masks to conceal their identities, protesters and members of the media confirmed that Tron founder Justin Sun appeared at the event. Yeah, no doubt he made an actual video about it. So, as well as other top Trump supporters who posted on social media, the complete list of attendees was not available at the time of publication. So as we know, Trump not able to run for another term. So does this really matter as far as people donating to his campaign, as they say? Will there be a potential next term for Trump? Let me know your information down in the comments. And crypto perp futures are coming very soon, Merzinger says. So outgoing Commodities and Futures Trading Commissioner Summer Merzinger said on May 22nd that the regulator could greenlight crypto perpetual futures very soon. We're seeing some applications, and I believe that we'll see some of those products trading live very soon. She also added, it's great to get that trading back onshore in the United States, because like I mentioned earlier, most of the perpetual trading that you can do right now with crypto trading futures is with offshore brokerages. So this would open the door for brokerages here in the United States, and like she says, bringing that money back onshore. Crypto perpetual futures are derivative contracts that allow traders to speculate, often with high leverage, on the price of cryptocurrency without actually owning it, and can be held indefinitely. So for example, right now, if you were to buy Bitcoin or XRP, you will be holding it 1-for-1, spot purchases, right? Then you can also do leveraged ETFs, but some people aren't going that route. So what futures does is it allows you to multiply the amount that you're trading. So instead of trading, for example, 1 XRP, or we'll go to favorites here. Let's go with, we'll select XRP. And so now we could trade XRP long or short. You can do both ways. But the exciting thing is you can actually go to here where you can leverage the actual amount that you're trading. So it could be 5x, 10x, 30x, even 50x. And speaking of trading XRP, let's head over to the charts and find out what is going on. So yesterday, obviously, we had an intense day. We had an extreme down candle. Let's go ahead and measure this out. So we'll go body of candle. We're down 5% on one single candle for the day. So that was definitely unfortunate. When we take a look here, though, let's go ahead and zoom back out to the weekly charts. Now, we talked about this specifically in yesterday's video. As we saw right here, we had this pump to the upside the week of March 17th, and then the actual drop the March 24th week. And that was a new lower high. Right, so we had this highest high where the bodies, we're talking bodies, not wicks here, highest highs here. Then you had a lower high here. And then right here, you had a lower high here. And then price tried to push up and create a new higher high, which would be called changing market structure on the XRP charts. But realistically, we had a wick to the upside. Unfortunately, we lost that. And now we've even lost more momentum because this moved to the downside on this weekly candle, and this weekly candle ends in 1 day and 23 hours. So Sunday night, we will have our new weekly candle. Now, what is interesting though, our short-term momentum wave for XRP has started to turn to the upside on the weekly charts. Our long-term momentum wave is still bullish on the weekly charts. We did just bring our price down and literally reject off the 10 exponential moving average. So it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of days, do we recover here? If we lose the 10 exponential moving average, there's likelihood that we come back to this level here, which is 224, which is one of our spider lines. It's historical support and resistance. That's currently sitting at 225. If we lose that, we could then come down to the 30 exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at 204. And then we do also have a support, as you can see with the body candles here, at 190. So there is a lot of potential downside, but momentum is green, and green long-term, short-term. And when we look at the daily charts, momentum is also green. However, we are starting to trend down and rather steeply here. So we definitely need to see a recovery and a bounce back to the upside. This level right here, as you can see on the daily chart, has been a real problem. This $2.44. It rejected, well, once we broke down, it rejected here May 16th, rejected on May 18th, 19th, didn't try there, 21st, 22nd, and now the 23rd, all rejections to the downside off this level. You can see how important that weekly candle close level and breaking and creating a new high really is for us. Now, we are still bullish long-term momentum on the daily charts. We have bottomed short-term momentum on the daily charts. So there is opportunity to move to the upside. When we take a look at Bitcoin in reference to this, we can see Bitcoin started to make its move on the short-term cycle here to the upside, running green on the daily, and we had 3 consecutive days on that move. We have not had that for XRP. XRP has just been stuck to the bottom. We haven't had our move to the upside. Same scenario going when we go back to Bitcoin and we look at the weekly charts, we can see our reset here on April 14th, the week of that, boom, big, massive move. That's because the short-term trend cycle started making its move to the upside. When we look at XRP, it has barely started to make that. It's lagging hard. We have not got that real pump to the upside. Last time we had the real pump, we had the move and the reset for the trend cycle from 0 to 100. We had the massive move for XRP as well. So right now we're looking weak. We need to break above the 20 level on this to get some strength behind it. Right now, we're not there. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is yesterday's big to the downside move was because of the crazy uncertainty with Trump's talk. Now the weekend is coming. It's Memorial Day weekend, so we could potentially have a crappy weekend as well because not many people are going to be staring at the charts. So it'll be coming Monday, Tuesday before we see some real action in the markets.